Live and direct. Buffalo's, Wyoming. Get my thoughts in a second. Let everybody get up in here. I don't know why I won't continue to stream on some other platforms, but let's see. All right. I'm gonna give my thoughts real quick, and then I'm gonna come back with even more. All right, but right quick. Let's see. First off, player stats. Caden Salter led the charge, 16 of 26, 285 yards, 3 touchdowns for the QB of the Buffs, Caden Salter. I would say great game from him overall for the whole night, for the most part. Despite whatever the play call was, I think he really balled out tonight, especially in the run game with 9 rushes, 41 yards. Actually, hold on, let me update that right quick. Let me get right. All right. Final stats for Caden Salter: 18 of 28, 303 yards passing, 3 touchdowns on the night for Caden Salter passing, 11 rushes, 86 yards, 1 touchdown for the QB on the night, 37 of 20 Wyoming final. Michael Welch, 6 carries, 67 yards on the night. DeKalon Taylor, 9 for 22. Dylan Hayden, 2 for 10. Simeon Price left the game with an injury, but it seems like he will be okay. 2 for 8 on the night for him. More stats. Omarion Miller, 6 for 88, 1 touchdown. Big play going down the field. Also 1 catch for Sincere Brown, 1 for 68 in a touchdown. A big play for Joseph, 47 in a touchdown. So those are the 3 touchdowns by the receivers on the night from Caden Salter, Terrell Timmons, Hakeem Williams, Draylon Miller, Michael Welch, Quinn Gibson, Isaiah Hodge also had catches. So let me know what y'all think we need to work on, what we think we got going well for us as far as the Colorado Buffaloes go. If you have any issues, let me know. Defense played pretty well, but as Dukes and I was calling the game, Duke said, "Man, they're getting gashed. We got to get better on that than letting these guys gash us down the field and then taking it in for a score." Overall, other than that, I think we played pretty well on defense. We got to play better when we play, stiffer competition, though. I would say, at the end of the day, a win is a win. You want it to be as dominant as possible in the most dominant fashion that you can get, but you will take when you get a win of this magnitude, should I say, in this position that you were in during your season at this point. Just to play well and go into conference play pretty much healthy and with some confidence in themselves and their ability and whatever the play call is for them to finally find a way to get a win. And I think we did that tonight. You're not going to be completely satisfied, of course, but hey, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I can guarantee you Coach Prime has a speech for these guys. He's not saying, "Hey, man, great job," as far as, this is exactly what we want. No, we got to clean up penalties. Had we not had some penalties in timely situations, especially on the defense side of the ball, which just, enabled their drives to sustain and give them more opportunities. If we can cut that out, then I think that's when you can come into the realm of being a dominant football team and having some dominant games, because you are cutting out the penalties that's keeping the other team alive. There's 3 penalties on the defense side of the football that kept drives going. At least I remember, that I could just name off the top of my head that happened. So at some point you got to correct those things, fix those problems, and find a way to not just sustained drives yourself. Let me see something. Hold on, let me go back here. Did that work? My bad. I was trying to get something to show right quick, but I don't think it is. I have to find out how to work that later on, player. But this squad, going after this ball game, you can still have something to build off of to say that, hey, we're in a good position to move forward. Let me see here. All right, we're gonna be live on the Bleacher Report app. Y'all let me know what y'all thinking. I'm reading the chats right now. I'm gonna put them on the screen also. We're gonna read the chats also. But if you're just checking in, we're live on the Bleacher Report app. It's Big Dog Chico. We got the post game reaction of the Colorado Buffaloes defeating the Wyoming Cowboys 37-20 at home at Folsom Field. And overall, good game by the Buffaloes. But you're going to still have some things to say that we got to improve. We need to hang our hats on this. We need to, if you talk about identity, I think that needs to be that offensive line, as we're seeing that this offensive line can be dominant if you give them, situations to be dominant in, as far as running the ball, going straight down the field, in between the tackles, behind the big fellas, bringing in another offensive lineman to be a tight end at the end of the line to improve the run game and the pass game, so to speak. So, you have to use your talent that you have, and I think Colorado has a plethora of talent that they can tap into to use in different situations. And we saw Salter, for the most part, get off this ball game. I'll go back over his stats in a minute if you're just checking in, but for Coach Prime and the Buffs, this is something that you wanted to come in and get, and that is a win in a close to dominant fashion that you can say. When we had them down and holding, if we would have held them to 3 points in this ball game, that would have been a dominant win. But giving up those big plays, a big touchdown on the go route, and then that final drive to where they ran the ball on us, I think we look at this and say, hey, we got some improvements to do. But if we want to go into Big 12 play with some type of confidence, then we should be looking up. As Uncle Neely would say, the arrow is definitely pointing up right now for the Buffs. As I'm trying to pull up some more pictures to share over here for you guys. Um, and then we're going to answer some questions too, because we're live on YouTube and we're live on the Bleacher Report at the same time. I wanted to get on here so I could have some chats to go in back and forth also at the same time, and also put prayers up for Simeon Price, who left the game with an injury. Let's see here. Busy said, Chico, does this CU team beat BYU? Well, I'm definitely pulling for them to beat BYU. I think we have the pieces to beat BYU and anybody else on the damn schedule. What you gonna ask me and think I'm gonna say? I don't know. No, I'm gonna say yes. Of course, I think we could beat a BYU. This very team right here. We're gonna come into our own. We're gonna hit our stride at the perfect time to beat a BYU and anybody else that's on the daggone schedule. All right, let's get to the stats from tonight. One, Salter, 18 of 28, 303 yards, 3 touchdowns on the night. 4 total touchdowns on the night. I came into this ball game saying that if Caden Salter can get in a position to where he has 3 touchdowns total on the night, then I think we will win this ball game pretty, handily. And he said, you know what, Unc, big dog, big bro, whatever you want me to call you, I'm gonna give you more than that. I'm gonna give you one more. I'm gonna up you one more. So let me make sure I get this up here so you guys can see it all. So 37-20 final score. Wyoming dropping to Colorado at Folsom Field. We're live right now on the Bleacher Report. You tuned in with Big Dog Chico. Let me know what you're thinking. If you're just checking in, do y'all think What are your predictions as far as the final record? Michael Welch 6 for 67. And also, DeKalon Taylor had 9 for 22 on the night for his totals as far as carries go. Receiving, Omarion Miller, 6 for 88 and a touchdown. Sincere Brown, 1 for 68, a touchdown. Joseph Williams, 1 for 47 and a touchdown. Terrell Timmons had 2 for 29. Hakeem Williams, 3 for 26. Draylon Miller, 2 for 25. As a total for a team, the Buffs had 496. Wyoming, 5 of 10 on third down conversions for the Buffs. 5 penalties for 53 yards. Of course, they were very costly penalties, especially those defensive ones. And 27 minutes and 59 seconds time of possession for the Colorado Buffaloes. 32 minutes for the Cowboys. BTG TV in the building. They were stat padding. You better run for 100 yards with 20 plus carries. What BG said. Shout out to BTG up in here. And everybody else live on YouTube and the Bleacher Report app. And we're just talking about this finish right here. What I saw was a team determined to come out and show that we're better than what we put on film for the last few weeks. If we can find and hang our hat on an identity, then I think it'll be that offensive line, knowing that we could power behind them at any moment that we decide to run the football. Whether it's design quarterback runs, whether it's the two back set, which I really love in this offense. I really love the two back set because now you're working with that deception in the backfield. The defense doesn't know what's coming, whether it's going to be the run from the quarterback or it's going to be a run from one of the running backs on the power or tossing it out like an option. Either way, right? Either way, Now, for my people in the back. There we go. Been working in the back trying to get that right for the longest. I don't know how long, but finally got it right now. Turnovers and penalties hurt Wyoming at key moments. It also hurt Colorado, but Colorado was more efficient on the night. Takeaways and what it means for Big Dog Chico in Colorado, in my opinion. Colorado needed this kind of performance. Big plays, fewer mistakes, and Salter stepping up into that leadership quarterback position to lead this squad to a victory. Wyoming showed their defensive grit here and there, but the offense, again, couldn't keep up the pace with the Buffs. They allowed big plays and missed opportunities. Special teams, defense, like that safety, played a part in creating separation on the night. So at the end of the day, we'll take that win. Anytime you get a W, you can throw it up like this. You can eat the dub like Jamie Winston say. Anytime you get a dub, you got to be happy with that. So I'm going to get on a couple of comments. Any super chats, I'll make sure I read them off. But any comments in here, let me see if anything worth spotlighting right quick. Like McPherson, London Merritt. Yes, the two young guys, two young freshmen came in there early in the ball game and played throughout this ball game on those edges, then played together too. So two true freshmen from IMG Academy were on the defensive line for the Buffs in crucial situations out there, and they really put pressures on the quarterback. I think Merritt even might have had a half a sack too. I have to make sure I check the stats, but from what I saw, both of them played very well. They got some guys on that defensive front now that you're gonna have to worry about people coming trying to poach from your team, because we're in the era of the transfer portal now, man. It's crazy how people just offer a bag. You saw how we talked about that. Y'all go back and look at it. Dukes and I talked about that. Also, Uncle Neely commented on it also. Chico blocked that troller. We ain't worry about no trollers. Y'all ignore him. Ignore him. Let him play over there by himself. Let him play over there by himself, guys. It's all right. They could do better, like Chico said, and dominate. Yes. Because y'all hear Coach Prime keep saying dominate. Dominating is not letting them extend drives by us committing penalties. Dominating is not allowing them to have a big play going down the sideline and we lose our focus and we don't have a safety over the top. We get hit with the bap, the hesitation and the hezzy, hit it with the stop and go. Dominant would have been 37-30. I'm sorry, 37-3 final score. That would have been a dominant victory. I would have taken 37-10 too. That would have been dominant. But giving them 20 points, we gave them the last couple scores. All right, we gave them the last couple scores. Maybe Deion's there. Who are these people? Damn, y'all really in the chat hating, ain't it? New mate is the truth. Good job by Damon Greaves with the kicks, with the punts down inside the 5-yard line. Great job by him on the night. So once again, at the end of the day, man, I want to make sure I check in with you guys after the game. After the game, and come in live, whether we're on the Bleacher Report app or we on YouTube, and just come live with you guys, give you my instant reaction, my thoughts after watching the game. Matter of fact, I'm gonna pull back the highlights right now and see if anything stands out to me before I get up out of here. Let me pull back the highlights right now. Coach Prime is at this press conference. Make sure I pull that up too. I have the throughout this season, being a big play, deep threat down the field, nothing underneath. He's not like you could throw it underneath, but you want to get the most out of him by going down the field. So shouts out to Amarion Miller. If you're on the YouTube app right now, I appreciate you hitting the like, subscribe, and comment. We're gonna get up and about of here, but we'll be live continuing